Hey guys, so I'm back with the second part of the series that I'm calling Walk With Us. The first part, if you missed it, was all about what to say and not to say to a mama who has lost her child. I will be sure and link that episode in the show notes, and you can listen to that after you're done listening to this one. So today I wanted to bring you ideas on what to do for a mama who has lost her child. While it's very important what to say and not say, it's also equally as important what you do for this moment in your life. Like I mentioned last week, it can be hard to know what to do. Like, what can you do for someone who's just lost their child? That's just a wound that's so deep, and it feels like anything that you come up with kind of pales in comparison to what they're having to go through. And so it can be hard to know even what to do, what is helpful, what does this mama need? And so I'm here to help you with that as a mama who has lost her child. And I've come up with 6 things that other people did for us in our journey that was very helpful in those early days after we lost Sam. And so I hope these ideas will just kind of help you know what to do, give you some ideas of your own to help this mama that's in your life. And I pray that this episode blesses you. Welcome to Unlocking Joy After Grief. My name's Courtney, wife, mama of 6 kiddos, one in heaven waiting for us. And that's why I'm here. In 2017, we lost our 4-year-old son, Sam. And it's my joy to share with you everything this journey has taught me. So if you're ready for biblical encouragement, first-hand lessons, and support from a fellow grieving mama, then let's lace up our shoes and begin walking this road together. Okay, so like I said in the intro, this episode is all about what can you do for a mama who has lost her child. It's such a hard journey to walk through. And so for all of our friends and family who are on the outside, it could be hard to know what to do. And that's why I'm here. I wanted to help y'all know, just kind of give you some ideas of what you can do to help this mama in your life. And so to come up with these 6 things, I actually went back in my mind to that time, those days and weeks and months after we lost Sam. And I thought about, what did people do for us that was so helpful? And so all of these things that these 6 things that I'm going to tell you were all things that people actually did for us. And so I can firsthand tell you that these were so helpful in those early days, weeks, and months after losing Sam. And so I know that they will be helpful for this mama that's in your life as well. So the first thing is to buy them dinner or cook them dinner and bring it over. The last thing that I wanted to do was to cook dinner, but we had to eat. I had 3 other kids at the time and they needed to eat, but I just did not have the brain power to even come up with an idea of what to feed us. Like, there's just, when you lose your child, especially in those early days, it's just, I think it's such a blow to your mind that's literally all your brain can do is focus on surviving and trying to make it through, because grief, I'm not a scientist. I'm pretty sure there probably is scientific evidence of this, but it affects you physically, like your body, like physically. My husband, he actually got stomach ulcers after that time that took a while to heal. And so your brain, I think it's just trying to keep you alive, honestly, because grief that deep affects every part of you physically. And so because of that, anything that required making a decision, I couldn't do. It just was not there in my brain. And so this is something so simple, but that can help so much. Start a meal train. If it's someone in your church, involve people in your church. Our homeschool group is who helped us out with this. They started a meal train for us and had people bring us dinners both dinners that they cooked and brought over. And then we had some, gift cards to pizza places that we could have it delivered, things like that. It doesn't, depending on where you're at in your life, financially and just time-wise, it could be just pick up some barbecue or order out something and have it delivered, or pick it up and deliver it to them. Or, if you don't have the finances to buy a meal at like a restaurant, then just cook something homemade for this family. And I know that whatever it is that you can afford financially or have time to do will be so appreciated. Just anything that you can help take off their plate at this time would be good. And this next one is if it's in the very early days, like if the funeral hasn't happened yet, offer to help some way with the funeral. I was very blessed. The pastor's wife was actually one of my close friends, and actually we're related now because my oldest son married their oldest daughter, so they're actually family now. She kind of took the reins on that, and I was so thankful for that because, like I said in the last point, any decision I had to make, my brain power, my brain I just could not make decisions. And so she would text me very simple yes or no questions, like, do you like this idea or do you want this? And most of the time it was yes, because any idea she had, I was pretty much game for, because I just wanted him honored and his life honored, and I trusted her. So I knew she would honor our little Sam. That was very helpful. So if you have, if you're close with this person, if there's someone that's kind of leading the funeral, in the decision making, reach out to that person. I don't know if I would reach out to the mama. It depends on your relationship with her, because she might not even know what's needed. But if there's someone that's kind of helping with all the details of the funeral, reach out to that person and be like, hey, I want to help. Let me know. A lot of times there's a meal and stuff for the family. Maybe you could help cook something for the meal. Just, doing something to help relieve the pressure off the mama to make decisions, again, would be very helpful. Okay, so the next tip is to clean their house or pay someone to clean their house. Again, cleaning my house was the last thing that I was thinking about. I didn't even care if my house was clean at the time, but looking back, I had a sweet mama and her daughter come and clean my house. So that was just so helpful. That's one less thing that I had to worry about, was cleaning my house, because there were a lot of people that came to my house just to be with me, so I wouldn't have to be alone. And so, if my house was dirty or messy or anything like that, that would have been one thing I say I would have been worried about. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have even cared, but that was one less thing. Like when people would knock on the door, I wouldn't have to be like, oh, my house is dirty, because it wasn't. Because this sweet mama and her daughter had blessed us and cleaned our house. And again, how this looks with your situation is just dependent on your finances and your time. If you don't have time to clean their house, but you do have extra money, then you just hire a cleaning service to go clean their house. Or if you don't have the money, but you do have extra time, then you can just go in and put some elbow grease in it and clean their house for them. However that ends up looking, I know that will be super helpful, and I know that will be very appreciative. And I actually still message this mama every now and then when I think about her doing that, and thank her for it years later. It's just left such an impact on me that she would do that without even being asked. It just meant so much to me. And so I know it will mean a lot to your mama too. So the next thing is to gift them money so they can take time off work. We were actually so blessed to be able to take an entire month off of work after we lost Sam thanks to all the money that was gifted to us that helped cover our bills and food and stuff. It ended up being enough for a whole month. And I just could not imagine having to go back to work. Even a month I felt was still too soon, but you have to pay bills and have to do work. But I mean, having that month to be with my husband and my 3 kids that were left, and just kind of process the emotions, process the grief that we were having to walk through was invaluable. Like, the people that were willing to give to us so that could be a reality, I will forever be grateful for. So if you're able to financially give to this mama and her family, so that if she works or if she doesn't work and her husband works, so that either one or both of them can take that time off just to process and heal from their grief. I think that's very, very important. And I know they'll be very thankful for that gift that you can give them. So the next tip is to offer to watch their other children if they have other children that they're having to take care of. It can be hard enough to survive those early days. And then if they have other kids that they have to take care of, especially if they're younger kids, can be a lot. And so if you're close with this mama and you feel comfortable, you're able to just offer to take them, whether it's out to dinner or to a park or even to spend the night with you, just to kind of give this mama and dad too a break from taking care of their other children's, just again, so she will have the time to process all the emotions that come with losing a child. You can take their kids and let them spend the night, or like I said, even just taking them for the day and, giving them something fun to do. Again, depending on the age, like my 15-year-old, he fully understood what was going on. So his walk was a little bit different than like my 6-year-old, who, I think he understood, but just as much as a 6-year-old can. And so for him, to be able for them to have something fun to do that's outside of the heaviness that's in the house, I know that mama would be super appreciative of that as well. And the last thing is to give them something that's tied to their child. And I actually went and thought of all the things that were given to us that had to do with Sam. And I listed them all, and there was a lot as I was going through and thinking. Just brought a smile to my face that people were so thoughtful and given me things that I still have to this day that I cherish. And so I'm going to list these out to kind of give you an idea of something that you can do. These were all things that were given or made for me that I cherish. And so I hope that one of these things can give you an idea of something that you can do for your mama. I got a necklace. Actually, I got several jewelry pieces. One of the necklaces had Sam's face in it. I have necklaces and bracelets with a special saying, a Bible verse, things that were special to me, sayings that kind of helped me get through, Bible verses that helped me get through. I know I talk a lot about my lifesaver verse, and my pastor's wife actually got me a necklace with my lifesaver verse on it. Another jewelry piece that we got was a necklace that contained the flowers from the funeral that were dried and then crushed and then put inside this necklace. And so this is something that would have to be kind of planned before the funeral, because you would need to get some flowers from the funeral, of course with permission from the mama. But that's something that if the funeral hasn't happened yet for you, that maybe you could coordinate. You could take the child's drawings, if they're younger, and make something with it. Sam had drew a triangle man on the back of my couch, which at the time I was super mad about. But as with a lot of things, that once they're gone, they become treasures. Where when they were here, I was mad that he ruined my couch with a drawing of his triangle man. Became something that to this day we cut it off the couch that we got rid of so I could keep it forever and it's framed. But one of our friends made a cup, like a Yeti coffee cup, and with that triangle man drawing on it. And so if you have access to one of their drawings or their handwriting, something like that, you could create something with their actual drawings or writings and gift that to your mama. The next thing I got was a beautiful quilt out of Sam's t-shirts. And again, this is something you'll have to coordinate with the mama because you'll have to get the shirts. And the mama has to be okay with their shirts being cut up. It took me a little bit to be okay, where I would be okay with that. That wasn't something that happened super early on, but this lady had reached out to me and offered to make it. She was a professional quilter, makes beautiful quilts. She said that was something she wanted to do for me if and when I was ready and okay with it. And so whenever I gathered my favorite shirts that were Sam's, and she made a beautiful quilt that now I can wrap up with and know that these shirts were on his little body at one point, and it just brings comfort to me. And along that line, another thing that I got with his t-shirt was a pillow that was made out of one of his shirts, and my mom actually got one too. And again, along the same lines, something that you can hold and hug that was on his body at some point. You know, it's something tangible that was his that I can hold. And so that was super special too. And then another thing that kind of went with clothing and things like that is one of his blankets that he used a lot. A sweet friend of mine took and made bandanas out of to go on some bears that she had bought and then gifted to my other children so they could have a little piece of Sam with these stuffed bears that she got. So that's a good idea, that kind of for if they have other children, something they can have that was Sam's that will be special to them. And the last thing is to make a collage of photos of their child, and you can just like hop on their Facebook page and download the pictures. I think it's probably the way that they did it for me. Or if you have pictures on like your phone of the child, you can use that as well. But just making a collage of pictures that shows happy times with their child. Maybe their child's personality is shining through the pictures, something that would bring a smile to this mama's face. To see that many pictures of their sweet baby's face all in one frame is very special, and I still have mine hanging up that was made for me. So that's all the ideas I have for you. There were so many people that did so many great things for us during that time. Some people we didn't even know that helped us out, bought us couches, brand new couches, and sent us gift cards to pizza places so we could have things to eat, or we could order pizza to eat. I mean, these people I don't even know. They saw my story through Facebook or heard it through a friend of a friend. And so, especially nowadays, we're so bombarded with negativity, like in the news and on social media. It's hard. I mean, it's like, are there even good people out there anymore? Because the news just so highlights the negative things in the world. But losing Sam showed me that there is good in people. And when something like this happens, it comes out. The good inside of people comes out. And I saw it and experienced it firsthand. And it has forever left a mark on my heart. I will never forget the kindness that was shown to me during those first days, weeks, and months after losing Sam. It is forever a part of my story and my life. And I will forever be grateful to everyone who did things big and small for us. There are no words to describe the impact that it has left on me. That people would be so kind to us during that hard time of our lives. And so whatever you can do for this mama in your life, I know she will be forever grateful. And just like me, years later, as she thinks back about that time, your face will be in her mind. All those things that you did will be part of her story. And I know in 20 years when I think back about that time, all of these people that did all of these things for me that I listed out will still be in my mind, in my heart. And I will be as thankful to them then as I was when it happened. And I know the same will be said for your mama, that she will be forever grateful for the things that you did for her after she lost her sweet baby. So, I like to leave the episode with one thing for you to do when this episode is done. And so the one thing that I want you to do is to really think about things that I said, or maybe they triggered an idea for you that's maybe different than what I said. I want you to actually make a plan for it to happen and do it. Because if we don't put feet to our thoughts, then they just stay thoughts. They don't turn into actions. And so whatever it is that you're thinking right now in your head, oh, that's a good idea. My mama would love that. Then I want you to actually, when this episode is over, make a plan and then do it. And I know that mama will be forever grateful for you and the kindness that you have shown her during that very, very hard time in her life. So I pray this episode blessed you and that you walk away with an idea or two of ways that you can bless this mama in your life. I'll see you next time. Love you, friends. Hi, friend. I hope this episode blessed you. The best advice I can give to be able to make it when a storm hits your life is to know who God is before it even starts to rain. I've created a free 31-day scripture calendar that will help you get to know who God is, His character. You can find this calendar plus bonus journaling pages and scripture cards all for free at unlockingjoy.com/God's character. This will also be linked in the show notes. I pray the foundation of your faith will be strengthened as you journey into the heart of the Father. I'll see you next time. Love you, friend.